Chapter 11 Unlock New Features, God's Guidance, Late 6th Era, Prosperity and Decline, and the insects that have evolved larger and larger cannot fly in the sky. They are trapped in land and sea, and the resources in Tier-Niwan realm are exhausted, and there are not enough insects to eat. The troubled insects try to find a way out, and there is a generation of unicorns trying to fly to the universe alone. He succeeded and he failed. The moment the unicorn was freed from gravity and exited the world barrier, the unicorn died. The two-pronged rhinoceros beetle began to decline, along with the rest of the insects. End of the 6th era, the ravaged plants were overwhelmed and died and became extinct in droves. The struggling two-pronged rhinoceros beetle was completely in decline. The death of the last generation of unicorns symbolizes the failure of this path. The other branch, the sea spider, has not grown in 6 epochs, is still struggling, and is very happy. Seeing him get up a tall building, seeing him banqueting guests, seeing his building collapse. Subai read this. Quite emotional. At the same time, the real hammer, meteorites are not natural disasters. There are deeper reasons behind it. Is it a hidden plot caused by Xhulhu's call? Subai guessed. He remembered the last simulation, popping up from time to time, and there were inexplicable fluctuations in the universe. The octopuses have engaged in some sacrificial activities, which may have attracted the attention of some beings. At present, I don't have the strength to spy on it, and I will have the opportunity to dig this line in the future. Subai continued to watch. Sea spiders are more tenacious than they think. While the land is doomed, they are still struggling. After 6 epochs of growth, the Tier-Niwan realm has grown to 28 kilometers. At this time, it keeps shrinking. Middle of the 7th era, the world is going backwards, a large number of plants are extinct, oxygen and aura are attenuated, and there are no creatures on land. Sea spiders are still happy, but due to this, a large number of offshore territories were abandoned, and many tribes died. Late 7th era, 99% of all insects and plants on land went extinct. Mass extinction of plants and animals in the oceans. 8th era, the sea spider is still struggling. At the end of the 8th era, there are no animals on the land, and 90% of the creatures in the ocean are extinct. Tier-Niwan realm weakens to 10 kilometers. Yes, the 8th era of hard work, once returned to before liberation. Subai understands something. Stubborn words all the way. After exhausting the world's resources, he can't make ends meet, and he can't get out of the universe and pull back the starry sky resources. It is slow suicide. According to the teachers, the world master cultivates the forces of civilization. There is only a novice village in the planet. You can really experience, hunt for treasures, and get to the universe. Otherwise, how many resources are there in the world? How much energy can you rely on passive sunlight? For the world to rise, the first thing is to take the initiative and hunt in the sea of stars. Next, Subai takes a bit of a surprise. With 98% of marine life dead, sea spiders die in large numbers. The number of people was reduced to a few hundred, but they didn't die. Relying on the only nutrients in the sea water, and even the sunlight on the sea surface, it evolved the function of dormancy. Constantly falling asleep. Middle of the 9th era, the sea spider is still struggling. 10th era, after the sea spiders woke up, there was a breeding campaign, and after a little expansion of the race, they continued to sleep. Happiness +5, pleasure +10. Ding dong. Congratulations on reaching the milestone in your simulation time. Unlock new feature, God's guidance. Reward creation value plus 500, a talent upgrade card. Only the first reward. In the 10th era, is there such a big surprise? Subai smiled, which was definitely a big surprise. He hurried to check out the new features. God's guidance. At key points in history, you can take action and let the creatures choose which direction to develop. For example, landing / staying in the sea, evolving body / strengthening spirit, using fire / extinguishing fire, etc. Nice feature. Subai's eyes lit up, and his control over simulation was naturally higher. As for that card, it made him even more excited. Talent upgrade card. After use, raise the selected talent to a higher level. Wonderful! What if I use the guaranteed orange talent? Holding the card in his hand, he was eager to try it. But, it hurts. The simulation continues. The sea spider is not dead yet. At the end of the 10th era, even if there are fewer and fewer clansmen, the place for survival is getting narrower and narrower. The sea spiders living in the corners of the Gobi still haven't given up their resistance. On the contrary, they are still very happy, no one to fight with them, no enemies to kill them. 11th era, Subai's mentality is a little broken. How long is the cooling off period this time? Don't worry, come out and die. His curing talent has not been used today. Is it difficult to achieve solidification of Xhulhu? Advertisement seems to sense Subai's mood. When the time entered the 12th era, something changed. The 12th era, you look at the Tianiwan realm, which has degenerated to 2 kilometers, and you are extremely disappointed. Speechless to the stubborn sea spider on the bottom of the sea, the branch root appears. Please make a choice. 1. Let the sea spiders live and see how long they can live. Will there be a big gift box floating in the universe and let the Tianiwan realm rise? 2. God was impatient and took the initiative to destroy the world. It's useful so soon. Subai was overjoyed and decisively issued an order of destruction. You took action, causing the underwater volcano to erupt and the sea spider to go extinct. This simulation is over, and there are 12 eras of survival. A total of 400 creation value was harvested. Cooling period, 120 minutes. Subai's heart was beating. It took 2 hours. It's past 7 o'clock at night. The 5th simulation will start at 10 o'clock. There is not much time left for yourself. If he doesn't get a good talent, he can only choose one of the short ones to solidify. However, in the later period, he seemed to have figured out a little pattern. Can God Simulator be changed because of its own subconscious? Coupled with the newly unlocked functions, it will be much easier for you to explore in the future and end the simulation early. 1. Unhappy, the Great Flood wiped out the world. This is called a God Simulator. Subai took stock of this harvest and intelligence. Chapter 12. The Orange Talent that finally came, Projection of the Heavens. Please solidify one item from the following options. Note, if you want to keep the last tentacle monster forever, you need to spend 100 creation points to permanently solidify. Subai said without hesitation, permanently cure the king of tentacle monsters. This is the only extraordinary creature that he currently has. The curing is successful. Apart from that, on the latest simulation interface, a line of text introduction appeared. Unicorn, bamboo insect spider, sea spider. Temporarily solidify the unicorn. Subai thought about it, and chose the strongest king of the insect era. Although sea spiders live a long time, they rely on, as long as I'm useless enough, no one will hit me. At present, the total creation value has been 3,200, which is a small profit, but the cooling time is too long. Subai's consciousness returned to reality, and he opened the window and breathed a sigh of relief. He picked up the ballpoint pen again and wrote and drew on the notebook. Preliminarily judged that Xhulhu's call can cause inexplicable fluctuations in the universe, attracting meteorites. This seems to be a disaster at present, but sometimes it is a good thing. Instead, it points out that there are enemies and resources in the universe. He picked up his mobile phone and searched for star information. The sky is vast. Crisis and opportunity coexist. Just pick up a stone and go back, it is a meteorite, worth 1,000 gold. Ordinary creator, the biggest income is to let his subordinates go out of the universe to pick up garbage. Meteorites are brought back to the world and turned into land, increasing the origin of the world. If you find some ice cubes, it's already a bumper harvest. As for treasures like cards, it is a fantasy. It is the same as the probability of picking up a piece of doghead gold on the side of the road. Many creators are lucky to keep the world from going backwards. Many world leaders are poorly managed and cannot make ends meet. Sell the world. Even the collapse of the world is normal news. And Su Zheng can rely on the meteorite clue, and slowly dig. Of course, first of all, he must have the ability to resist the first wave of meteorite impact. There's not much time, the last few waves of simulation, quick battles and quick decisions, mainly focus on brushing talents. Gu Dao can't get through, and if the resources are exhausted, it's a dead end. Be sure to rush out of the universe before running out of the world's heritage. Xhulhu's talent has a hidden plot, and other talents should have similar. Pay more attention to the details in the simulation in the future. Just as he was thinking, the phone vibrated. The squad leader Kai Lansu sent a text message, "How about running the world at home? Have you awakened special energy? I was in the starry sky just now, and I encountered a cosmic storm, and even the temperature of the world dropped to -20 degrees. The villains that I finally cultivated are all dead." Oh, Subai was taken aback. The squad leader is so unlucky. Cosmic storms have been encountered, doesn't that mean that the innate is going to lose a step? He quickly sent a message and asked, "The creatures are dead. Did you seek help from the school? I remember there is a kind of gene card. After using it, it can directly give birth to a specific creature in the world. With your potential, you should be able to apply for it in advance." In a cozy suite 10 kilometers away from Subai's house, a young girl with a ponytail snorted happily. "Finally answered." The girl replied gracefully, "I asked them. My situation is rather special. Most of the creatures died. A small part seems to have adapted to the low-temperature environment. That cosmic storm has changed the properties of my world, and it is now a world of ice and snow. The world consciousness reminded me that it has transformed into a world of ice and snow, and the surviving creatures have been transformed into half-elemental, half-material snowmen. However, there are only 100 snowmen left, and one death is less than one." Subai, who saw the reply, was surprised. Blessed in disguise. Is this an acquired mutation? He sighed a few times that he had gone through untold hardships in the simulation, and now he is only a small subordinate. The squad leader has formed a special biological team. It's useless for you to guess now. It's better to take the time to go to school tomorrow and let Teacher Lee and even the principal take a look. Well, you also work harder. If you need help, let me know. Although I'm just starting out, I have a lot of ice cubes. I'll condense a resource card for you when I get a chance. Kailan Su is very generous. Su Bai laughed dumbly. Different worlds have different attributes. Many world masters exchange resources with each other, but the monitor is too enthusiastic. I was just starting out, and I was thinking of giving people cards. In the initial stage, every resource is precious. Don't mess around. He replied promptly. Kailan Su made an angry little expression. I know, it doesn't depend on your innate lack. I won't give it to others. The two continued to chat for a while, and they said goodbye after exchanging their thoughts on the creation of the world. Just after turning off the phone, Kailan Su suddenly responded with a yeah. Oh, I'm looking for him for something else. Forget it, I'll contact you tomorrow. She closed her eyes and immersed herself in her own world. Su Bai never felt like 2 hours were so long. The cooling time was not refreshed until 22:11. He decisively summoned the simulator. Open 10 consecutive draws. This is the 5th simulation. Half of the 10 guarantees have passed, and the probability is very high. A cloud of words appeared in front of Su Bai's eyes. The next moment, a bright, distinctive orange light burst out. It's coming, it's coming. Su Bai's eyes widened, trying to see the effect of the talent. An extremely pleasant reminder sound appeared in the ear. Chapter 13. Use the upgrade card, Golden Talent in the Heavens and the World. In front of Su Bai is an orange rune. The effect of it was against the sky, and it made his heart skip a beat. Projection of the heavens, orange. After carrying it, it can make the created creatures get the blessing of the powerful existence in the heavens. Bloodlines and talents mutate until it is infinitely close to the real characters of the heavens, greatly enhancing the potential. As expected of an orange talent, extraordinary. Su Bai gave it a big thumbs up. He didn't hesitate to choose a talent. At the same time, a card was presented. Use the talent upgrade card. The cards in his hand suddenly turned into stars, and a burst of golden light poured into the orange talent. Like gilding, sublime its essence. Ding dong. Congratulations on your successful upgrade of talent. When Su Bai looked at the talent again, his heart skipped a beat. All heavens and myriad realms, gold. It can enable potential creatures in your world to obtain the blood, potential, and templates of the powerhouses of all heavens and all worlds. The strength is exactly the same as the original owner. If the myth is coming, as expected of a golden talent, the specific effect will have to be seen. However, today's chance of permanent curing is definitely it. Fearing that time would pass, Su Bai resolutely solidified the heavens and the world. Ding dong, you have been cured successfully, today's opportunities have been used up. When all this was done, Su Bai breathed a sigh of relief. Continue to glance at the remaining 9 talents. He, the ghost of Xhul whose call lingers. Apart from it, there is also a purple talent. It looks like a white talent, a super doubled version of the behemoth bonus. Prehistoric behemoth, purple. The effect is extremely strong, making the creatures have a great appetite, and the throughput capacity is greatly enhanced. The volume is increased by 100 times, and it has a wild atmosphere. This purple talent Su Bai has chosen. As for Xhul whose call, Su Bai hesitated. The main reason is that its negative effects are too strong, and a large meteorite is summoned. Who can stand this? It's the last time. If the negative effect is still too great, it will not be carried in the future. Wait until you have enough strength to dig out the hidden plot. With 3 talents selected, Su Bai has never felt so broad. 1 gold and 2 purple. Start the simulation. Please confirm whether to carry items and cards. This time, Su Bai was confident. Load the Tentacle King, Unicorn, and Weather cards. As for the S-Class card, he thought about it for a long time, and finally decided to keep it. You can't make a fat man in one bite, and you can bring it next time you simulate. After everything is ready. A word appeared in front of Su Bai's eyes again. Start the journey of creation, open the world, you awaken the world. The Tianyuan world was born, and the first 10 kilometers of land. Early First Era, you said there would be rain, so it rained heavily. Early life has been cast, and life is nurtured in the ocean. Just as lines of text appeared, another reminder appeared. Do you want to invest in the King of Tentacle monsters and unicorns now? It's too early, at least until the Second Era. And Su Bai also wanted to spend more time to make the meteorite come later. According to his previous analysis, the arrival of meteorites is absolutely related to the communication of cosmic news between creatures. Middle of the First Era, the proliferation of unicellular and multicellular organisms in the ocean, trilobites, mollusks, etc. The Cambrian explosion is coming again, and the talent prehistoric beasts is activated, and they are all extremely large. 8-meter and 10-meter ocean giants are everywhere. Soon, the ocean could not hold too many giant beasts, and amphibians tried to land. Late First Era, there is a race that resembles jellyfish, with tentacles and a big eye, the first to lose in the ocean. For the continuation of the race, they were the first to land successfully. Be the first creature to eat crabs. The talent call of Xhulhu was activated, and many giant beasts heard babbling in their ears. There are giant beasts that go mad and die, and there are giant beasts who endure the ravings. From the knowledge they gain, they deliberately transform themselves and evolve in strange directions. Because the giant beasts have extremely strong throughput, even plants and algae also mutate. Covers the entire Tianyuan realm like moss and lichen. Makes Tianyuanji breathing all the time. At the end of the era, the land has grown to 28 kilometers. So big. Su Bai was surprised. I didn't expect the co-effect of beast transformation to be so strong. With the end of the First Era, a line of small words appeared in front of his eyes, whether to release the King of Tentacle monsters and unicorns. The time is ripe, let's put it in, put some pressure on the giant beasts. Give the 2 little guys a chance to mutate. The 2 of them, after all, are the kings of the first generation version, and they still have a lot of advantages over the rough beasts. Early part of the Second Era, you made a move, throwing the King of Tentacles on the ocean and the unicorn on the land. The 2 monsters are like fish in water in the new environment, and the King of Tentacle monsters is extremely adaptable to raving. Gained a lot of valuable knowledge from it. At the same time adapt to the version, start to become stronger and bigger. In the blink of an eye, the King of Tentacle monsters has evolved into a giant, 25 meters long. Even in the ocean, it reigns supreme. One day, the King of Tentacle monsters seemed to recall something, and once again used tentacles to draw strange runes in an underwater palace. Su Bai's eyelids jumped suddenly. Die again. It was even worse in his heart. A hint of divergent paths emerges. The King of Tentacle monsters instinctively constructed sacrifices according to the ravings. Do you want to continue? No. cut off any communication with the universe. This is not something they can currently touch. Subai clicked with his mind. Even the mother star can't get rid of it, still a swaddle baby, how to break into the dangerous sea of stars. Sure enough, this time, there was a notable change in the simulation. You shot in time and snuffed out the message that the King of Tentacle Monsters sent to the outside world. At the same time, with the sea as the background, your figure condenses an incarnation of divinity, warning the King of Tentacle Monsters and even other giant beasts, and don't take the initiative to cause disaster. The King of Tentacles trembles, shivering in the ocean. Other giant beasts, and even the unicorns on the land also surrendered. Everything knows your existence for the first time. Realize the importance of leaking information to the universe and stop dying. Chapter 14 Winning. The descendants of the old days, 3 extraordinary races were born. So much change this time. Seeing these words, Subai was surprised. He realized that as new features were developed, the more he could influence the creatures in the simulation. It's a good thing after all, live longer. While he was watching with interest, a line of striking golden text flashed by. Middle of the Second Age, the land grows to 35 kilometers, and the ocean expands to 140 kilometers. Sea monsters are stranded on the coast, and tentacles are entangled in the deep sea. On land, the unicornus reproduced a giant version of the two-forked rhinoceros beetle, and fought with the tentacle-eyed monster that landed first, presenting a two-hegemony situation. The innate talents are activated, and a mysterious and unfathomable force pours into the most suitable creatures. Finally come. Subai cheered up and didn't want to miss a trace. The sky-defying effect of the golden talent is here, and it will change as soon as it is activated. The King of Tentacle Monsters overturned the river and the sea on the seabed, his body underwent unknown changes, and at the same time merged with the previous distorted bloodline. Obtain a new unknowable bloodline descendant of the old days, bloodline purity 0.1%, if it reaches 100%, it will become a mythical creature. It grows into an ultimate sea monster with tentacles up to 50 meters. The surface is covered with hard fish scales, the whole body emits mucus, and the magic resistance and essence resistance are 99%. And get the derivative descendant talent. The Lord of the Four Seas breeds the Kudao fish and completely controls the Four Seas. The title is well deserved. At the same time, its wisdom has skyrocketed, and it has reached the stage of being a man. He ordered his descendants to build palaces and statues in the ocean to worship you. Extraordinary race, the birth of the Kotu fish. The first religious prototype was born. Your brilliance shines on the deep seabed. A total of plus 1,100 creation value will be rewarded, and the function of faith in divine power will be unlocked. You can collect faith and condense it into divine power, which has all kinds of incredible uses. Subai's eyes widened. I didn't expect so many rewards at once. It is mentioned in textbooks that faith is extremely important. Basically, when a civilization is born, the world master will call on his subordinates to worship. A drop of faith in divine power is worth thousands of dollars. It can be transformed into various resources and can also be upgraded. Let the world master play more powerful. It can be said that faith is the most precious wealth in the world. Yes, yes. The Lord of the Four Seas is very sensible, and the road is wide. He had a hunch, this simulation is a big harvest. With such changes under the sea, what about the freer land? To Subai's surprise, the simulated native creatures this time, those races with tentacles and eyes have also changed. The tentacle-eyed race is losing ground in the battle with the unicorn, and their poor tentacles cannot break through the hard defense. The Tentacle-Eye family, who was pushed to the limit, exploded their potential, abandoned most of the attacking parts, and supplied all the nutrients of the body to the eyes, causing their mental power to mutate. It can ignore physical defenses, launch mental shocks, and even lasers. Extraordinary race, the evil eye is born. Reward creation value plus 100. Ha ha, Kutu, evil eye. Isn't this a famous monster in the heavens and the world? Only then did Subai realize the power of golden talent. He is curious now. Whose template did the Lord of the Four Seas get? Descendants of the old days. Hearing the name is extremely extraordinary, it is indeed his first subordinate. Really amazing. And did not disappoint him. The one-horned fairy who was killed by the evil eye, led the double-forked rhinoceros tortoise, and continued to strengthen the physical advantages, stepping into the extraordinary race. Middle of the Second Era, extraordinary race, the unicorn beast was born. Its race pursues physicality and strength, and its leader is known as Hercules, called the vigorous unicorn beast. Reward creation value plus 200. The land area of Tianiwanji has grown to 50 kilometers, and the ocean area is 200 kilometers. Tianiwanji has entered the stage of confrontation between the three clans. Good guy, one is more extraordinary than the other. Are the three of them taking different evolutionary paths? Subai understood. Unicorns follow the line of flesh and believe in power and toughness. The evil eye is an extraordinary race of the spiritual line, and even the physical nutrients are extracted to nourish the eyes. Isn't this image? Hiding behind, wide-eyed, like a laser cannon, Bayou ~~ Bayou's boom. As for the Lord of the Four Seas, and his descendants, the Kyoto, it is to take into account the two roads, and also to control the sea area. Although the bloodline purity of the Lord of the Four Seas is only 0.1%, it cannot stand the high quality of others. Coupled with the unruly huge body. Strictly speaking, the strongest person in the Tianiwan realm is still the Lord of the Four Seas. Anyway, this time the simulation. Subai wins. And this is the impact of the golden talent. Let's see when the meteorite will come, try to delay it as long as possible. Give them time to develop. Subai thought to himself and continued to read. Chapter 15 The Birth of the Superbido Beast, Subai's Shot. Late Second Era, the three clans digested the gains and consolidated their own evolutionary advantages. The situation gradually became clear, and the other races shivered under the lewd power of the three extraordinary races. The Lord of the Four Seas, who gradually felt that the sea was crowded, ordered the Kyoto to invade the offshore area and try to expand the territory to the land. The land has grown to 60 kilometers, and the potential and aura have been improved in all directions. Early part of the Third Era, Kotu Murlocs come ashore, they use harpoons, and they also attack with magic. Causes great pressure to the unicorn beast and the evil eye. The two generations of land overlords had to join forces to fight the enemy under pressure. I didn't expect that the unicorn beast would be used as a shield, and the evil-eyed clan would be used as a firepower battery in the rear, and the effect would be so good. The Kutu were defeated, and the three tribes competed for territory and began a long tug-of-war. War can best stimulate biological potential. The three extraordinary clans absorb raving knowledge and develop physical mysteries. Compared with the era, the body structure is vastly different. It's a good thing to have competition, and it needs to be controlled within the adjustable range. Subai takes this simulation very seriously. Before you know it, the land has grown to 70 kilometers. According to the proportion of land and sea, the ocean has 280 kilometers. If this area is seen by the classmates and the head teacher, I am afraid that it will be a surprise. The only thing he regrets is that it has not yet reached the stage where the area can be cured. Anyway, this simulation has already earned more than 1,000 creation points, and won the hemp. And the extraordinary 3 clans in the stage of rapid development are fighting more and more fiercely. Until the Lord of the Four Seas woke up, and brazenly invaded the land from the deep sea. Middle of the Third Era, the Lord of the Four Seas, who grew to a height of 65 meters, set off a tsunami. Not only does it possess invincible physical and mental power, but it also has the authority of the ocean. Wherever they went, the tsunami covered the sky and submerged the offshore area. There were as many as 1,000 Kutu people with harpoons in their hands, and they fought with it. On land, the leader of the Evil Eye clan, after an epoch of evolution, obtained the bloodline of the myriad realms with the closest affinity, and successfully evolved into a beholder. The vigorous unicorn did not give in too much, and was pushed to the limit in a bloody battle with the Ku-Dao Murlocs. The talent All Heavens and 10,000 Realms takes effect and evolves into a super beast. Known as the ultimate state of power, after becoming mad, he can move things 100 times his own body weight. More able to fly, extremely fast, and control the sky. The armor is indestructible, but it is a natural god of war. In order to compete for territory, the 3 extraordinary clans, the leaders of the 3 clans began a bloody battle. The evolution of the Lord of the Four Seas is one step ahead of the 2 bosses, and the beholder teamed up with the super beast to fight against it. When the 3 fought, they shook the world. The land has grown to 78 kilometers and is about to reach a critical point. Super Bido Beast. Looking at the name, Su-Bai had a guess in his heart. It's really amazing, good luck. But the meteorite he was most worried about seemed to be coming soon. A keynote has also been reached in the Tianiwan realm. Suddenly, a line of blue text pops up. The divergence point of fate appears. Have you intervened in the bloody battle of the 3 races? 1. Kill it, kill it, kill it happily. I just want the strongest one. I, God, have no emotions. 2. Peace is the most precious thing, you are all my children, save your strength and replace the time. Su-Bai thought for a while. Considering many aspects, choose 2. Not for the others, just because the 3 are unrepeatable geniuses. And Tianiwan realm is about to evolve again. He also intends to archive. Late period of the Third Era, the 3 clans who were fighting to the death suddenly received an oracle. You shot, the vision is shocking, and the 3 clans are stopped from shopping. And praised the excellence of the 3 leaders and let them go back to recuperate to deal with the crisis from the universe. You said, your journey is the Sea of Stars. The Lord of the Four Seas, the Super Bido Beast, and the Eye Demon burst into tears, deeply realizing how stupid their fights in the world are. The cake should not be divided, but the cake should be made. Under your will, the 3 clans stopped the bloody battle, and led by the Lord of the Four Seas, the 3 clans established a joint religion and built a 10-meter statue of God for you. All creatures that generate intelligence in the Tianiwan realm will automatically believe in you. Religion name, Tianiwan Divine Religion. Ding dong. Religion is officially established, and the reward is plus 2,000 creation value, and faith power can be collected. The reward is so big. Su-Bai was surprised. Unexpectedly, before civilization was born and mature, religion was established first. He opened his own panel. There is one more name in its religion column. The most important thing at the moment is to develop the world and be able to solidify it. His subconscious also influenced the simulation. The three extraordinary clans are no longer keen on internal friction, but instead try to rush out of the universe and pool resources from the outside world. The wise beholder first discovered that because everyone grows very big, the energy consumption is huge. If the resources in the world are exhausted and they can't leave the universe and feed the world back, they are doomed to die. Therefore, he is more keen to develop into the universe. The Lord of the Four Seas relies on his invincible body to reach the ends of the earth, carefully breaking through the world barrier with his tentacles. After some experiments, a tentacle finally came out of the universe, instantly frozen, and turned into a popsicle tentacle. The Lord of the Four Seas has lost his confidence and deeply realizes that, as the strongest creature in the world, he is weaker than the cub without the protection of the world. The Lord of the Four Seas, who felt more and more cramped in the ocean, retreated to the ends of the earth, trying to gain knowledge from ravings and evolve into a cosmic creature. The bloodlines of the old days began to grow, and the Ku-Dao Murlocs ruled the Four Seas, and initially mastered a little maritime authority. Don't try to die again, summon a meteorite. Su Bai's eyelids jumped. But what he didn't expect was the trip to explore the universe. The first to achieve success was the rude Superbido beast. Chapter 16 The Road to the Universe. In a desperate world, seeking flower evaluation tickets, after his instructions, the three extraordinary clans were no longer introverted. Instead, he held his breath and went out of bounds. The evil eyes are the most intelligent, but weak physically. It is difficult for tentacles, one eye, and brains to survive in the universe. At the same time, there is one most important difficulty. They can't fly. So under the leadership of the beholder, they plan to take the route of proving the way with tools. That is to say, to build spacesuits and boosters to rush out of the universe. The unicorn beast family sacrificed their heads to their bodies. So the brain is a muscle. They don't think about it that much, and they're done. Isn't it the gravitational pull of the world? Should I be stronger? What? Oxygen is scarce at high altitudes. Even if there is no spiritual energy in the near universe, will it starve to death? Then I thought about holding my breath. Wouldn't it be enough to hold my breath a little? The big deal is to reserve more oxygen in advance. Therefore, the unicorn clan instead evolved an organ with an air sac, which is specially used to store oxygen. After some evolution, a gas device was created in the body. It is also thoughtfully equipped with several gas pipes, which can control the burning speed, similar to biological rockets. As for the most difficult cosmic radiation, low temperature. Not much to say. Under the leadership of the great leader, Keopido Beast, stacking armor and fat is done. This is the best solution for them. Sometimes, the world's problems really need a single muscle to rush forward. At the end of the era, the Superpido Beast brought a big surprise to Subai. At the end of the third era, the meteorite you were worried about did not appear, but somewhere in the universe, there was already a strange gaze in the universe paying attention to this newborn small world, especially the Lord of the Four Seas in the deep sea. After a period of dormancy in the world, the three extraordinary clans have gained their own achievements in the study of the universe. Keobidio led the clansmen and formed a team to resist the high-altitude cold wind. After hundreds of studies, the height has been continuously broken, and finally it has approached the world barrier. Superbido beast relies on rough skin and thick flesh, took a sigh of relief, erupted airflow with the tailpipe, and rushed out of the world barrier. Without the protection of the world, the proud body of the super beast, washed by the power of the starry sky and illuminated by the radiation, soon fell ill. The body temperature dropped sharply, and the physical strength dropped rapidly. Superbido beast smelled the breath of death. Too reckless, the Lord of the Four Seas would not dare to do this. Su-bai felt a little pity. But a paragraph of text that followed made him hope again. At the moment of life and death, the super beast exploded its potential, temporarily became mad, used the last breath on its wings, and fanned it back again. Under the intentional reception of Tianyiwanji, the world's gravity recaptured the super beast, and it escaped. The world also has an ignorant consciousness, knowing that it is its own child. This is no small discovery. After returning to the land, the Keopido beast was also very discouraged, but it was a blessing in disguise. This time he endured cosmic radiation, but instead allowed him to evolve himself in a direction. In Su-bai's waiting until the third era passed. That meteorite hasn't come yet. But Su-bai knows that over time, it may be late, but it will not be absent. The simulation time has passed 3 epochs, and the land has grown to 95 kilometers. Caution. Relying on daily throughput, self-growth has reached a critical point. If you want to break through, the world will step into another level, unless there are foreign objects to assist. Otherwise it will be delayed for a long time. The news made Su-bai frown. Can't break through to 100 kilometers. According to his previous understanding, the increase of the land area multiple means crossing a step. Simply relying on the world's own instinct to swallow and suck, and the backfeeding of the parasitic creatures on it, have to wait until the year of the monkey and the month of the horse. The rich second generation and the national seed players all have a large number of resource cards and even land cards to supply. It is directly integrated into the origin of the world, increasing the area and potential. As for the general public, on the internet, the bottom creators spread such a sentence. It's impossible to work part-time, and it's impossible to work part-time in this life. You can't manage the world, and you can only live like this by picking up garbage. Entering the universe feels like coming home, and being in the universe feels so much better than being at home. A speck of dust in the universe that falls on every world is a mountain. When Su-bai heard this, he was surprised. Isn't this a garbage picker? You have to say that, ordinary world masters are really picking up junk. That's it, how many people want to pick it up and haven't done it yet? Classmates look forward to it. Thanks to the actions of the creators to pick up garbage, the starry sky is much clearer. A clever woman can't cook without rice, and I have the cheapest climate card in my hand. Getting stuck is hard. He was rather annoyed. Su-bai has sensed that the origin of the world has expanded to its limit. Due to the talent of the prehistoric beasts, the pressure on the Tianyuan realm is also great. Many giant insects and big fish feel that their living space is cramped and their food supply is insufficient. The Lord of the Four Seas felt cramped a century ago. Otherwise, the territory will not be expanded. Prosperity and decline. There are still 5 kilometers. How long will it take to break through and reach the save point? Under Su-bai's scruples, new mock text emerges. Early part of the Fourth Era, the expansion of the world has come to a standstill, and the giant beasts gradually feel that food is scarce. The extraordinary trio's exploration of the universe is in trouble. The increasingly bad environment makes the faith more and more pious. Faith value plus 10. Middle of the Quaternary, the world continues to stagnate, and even the oxygen and aura content begin to decrease, and the land area has regressed to 92 kilometers. The giant rhinoceros that survived for 2 epochs went extinct, a large number of ferns withered, and a batch of yellow sand covered the land. Led by the 3 extraordinary races, the creatures have sensed a world crisis. Very nervous, want to save myself, frequently rushed to the universe. Most of them ended in failure, only the super beasts stayed in outer space for longer and longer. The breakthrough of zero belief value is better than nothing. But the overall trend is disappointing. It seems that this time the limit is here. If you want to break through, you must have the assistance of off-site elements. Su-bai felt a little pity. Turning the hand, a card appeared in the palm. This may be his only chance to turn around. Even if you are summoned to bring disaster to the world, you have to be a dead horse as a living horse doctor. After all, no matter how desperate it is better than a sudden meteorite destroying the world. Rubbing the S card, Su-bai decided in his heart. Bring it with you next simulation. Just when he was at an impasse and intended to speed up the simulation. Mutation. Chapter 17 Consciously Awakening Talent Underwater Breathing, Milestone Discovery. Late Fourth Age, giant insects and plants gradually become extinct. The anxious trio of extraordinary people took risks, and their experiments in space became more and more adventurous. The Lord of the Four Seas wakes up in the deep sea, and the purity of the bloodline increases to 0.2%, which feeds back to the Kutu Murlocs, making them a lot stronger, and can breathe in the ocean from now on. Become a true ocean overlord. Reminder: the Lord of the Four Seas comprehends his own talent, underwater breathing, white. As the master of the world, you automatically acquire this talent. What is this? Su-bai asked in surprise. He clicked on breathing underwater to take a closer look, and gave the tentacle monster a thumbs up. Underwater breathing, white. The master of the Four Seas in the Tianyuan realm realizes the talent that he can rely on his skin to decompose the oxygen in the seawater. As long as you can resist the water pressure, you can keep diving. Although it is only a white talent, it is very practical. Because it is your own understanding, it is not limited to the talent column, you can bestow this talent on other creatures. Wonderful! It can add a new talent. He was very satisfied with it. At the same time, it was discovered that it seemed that because of the breakthrough of the Lord of the Four Seas, the world actually favored him. Make it more flexible in manipulating the seawater. Coincidentally, the other two also surprised him. At the same time, the Eye Demon and the tribe, after 2 years of research, prepared an extraordinary potion, Magic Eye Drops. After use, it can temporarily strengthen the spirit, and even wrap a layer of liquid protective film on the body. You can extract it through creation value or faith value. Superbido Beast turned into a muscle madman, cooperated with the Eye Demon, took magical eye drops, and charged into the universe with the determination to die. Before leaving, the two tribes, and even the Kotu fish, prayed together, asking for your blessings and bringing life to the world. Faith value plus 20. The land has degraded to 89 kilometers. The last self-rescue. Su-bai's heart sank. Just as he continued to watch, the long-lost Divergence of Fate reappeared. Divergence of Fate, the last hope, the regressed world, the extinct races, make the 3 extraordinary leaders feel desperate. Kopidaman intends to make a last-ditch effort to find hope in outer space. Are you offering blessings? 1. No help, wait to die. This game is over, and the next game will start again. 2. Stand on the sidelines, I am the god of modus feelings. 3. Boy, this is my last divine power, accept it. Use the accumulated 30 faith points to apply it to Super Pidaman. Help as much as possible. If you still have residual cards, resources, etc., you can release them, but you need to consume additional creation value. It's all at this stage, it's a pity not to fight at the end. Subai chose 3 without hesitation. It's a little difficult to help, at present, I only have an S card in my hand, and the focus is still on disaster. No matter how you look at it, it doesn't seem to be beneficial to the current situation. On the contrary, it made things worse. After thinking about it carefully, Subai made a choice. Simulation continues. During the grand sacrificial ceremony, you appeared. Create a frenzy all over the world, and even the ignorant giants will kneel at you. The Keopido beast is trembling, and is blessed by your faith, and its state is temporarily strengthened by 3 times. You have given the super beast a new talent, underwater breathing. This is the limit. God's house has no food left. Subai sighed slightly. The Lord of the 4 Seas and the Beholder tremble at miracles, and their beliefs become more and more devout. Other ignorant beasts have renewed hope. Carrying the last brilliance of a world, Keopido beast rushed to the universe. Under the protection of the skincare lotion, the super beast easily broke through the world barrier and rushed into outer space. His physical strength, body temperature, and extreme speed dropped, but he did not retreat. Instead, it flaps its wings and uses the oxygen retained in the body as fuel. Fly around the Tianiwan realm, trying to find resources and meteorites. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, the super beast broke through the limit, getting farther and farther from the Tianiwan realm, and his movements became stiff. The magic eye drops have long been exhausted, and your blessings are over. Its body suffered irreversible serious injuries, and this operation failed. Keopido beast did not find available resources nearby, only infinite nothingness and neutrality. After realizing the end that is doomed to death, the super beast turned around and flew to a farther space. What does it want to do? Isn't it reconciled? Subai was confused. But the next line of text is marked black, focus, milestone step. 2 hours. The super beast has survived in the universe beyond the record, completely left the glory of the mother star, the eyes are dark, and the vitality is cut off. In the dark, space coordinates, 1.45xx, the super beast bumped into something, the insect habits erupted, and it instinctively hugged it. It was a super small meteorite with a diameter of only 5 meters, containing rare starlight and the power of the world. Although it is a very small meteorite, if it is brought back, it can still feed the world. The Keopido beast tried to drag the small meteorite, but it was exhausted and unsuccessful. It died contentedly on this small meteorite, lying on top of it, with an extremely peaceful demeanor. Reminder, please record the space coordinates. This small meteorite will be your first pot of gold and is extremely important to the development of the world. Chapter 18 Talent, Intestine of the Universe, Descend the Highest Oracle. Subai can't wait to get up and applaud. The twists and turns have taken a turn, but I didn't expect that the super beasts really have cross-generational discoveries. That's one small step for an insect, one giant leap for the world. He quickly took notes to record the coordinates, and specially numbered the small meteorite, number 1 small meteorite. This is a treasure that exists in reality. The biggest advantage of the simulator is to detect all kinds of intelligence. Subai knows, I am congenitally insufficiency and resources are extremely scarce, so I must seize every opportunity. Unfortunately, I couldn't bring it back. It has finally grown to 90 kilometers, and the area cannot be cured, if it is archived. This simulation is almost a waste of half. Just when he regretted, in the simulated text, a line of small blueprint is interspersed with it. Reminder, the super beast breaks through the limit, combined with his own exploration of the universe environment in an era, combined with the principle of underwater breathing. Realize the blue talent before you die, the guts of the universe. As the master of the world, you automatically acquire this talent. The intestines of the universe, Blue, the genius of the supernatural creature Superbido beast comprehension, can breathe in the universe, and initially resist radiation and low temperature. Although not perfect, new paths have been blazed. Very versatile. I comprehend it myself, there is no limit to the talent bar. This talent, a magical skill. Subai felt that the value of this talent was no less than that of the orange talent. If we want to evolve cosmic creatures, I don't know how much time, how much energy, and how much resources will be spent. Even for those who are proud of the sky, it is a watershed to go from the mother star to the universe and officially hunt in the starry sky. This is the gap between the apprentice world master and the official world master. One can imagine the importance of this talent. It can help Subai save a lot of resources. Of course, it is also relatively elementary. Talent is based on a certain physique and is reluctantly active. It is still very early before the physical body crosses space, fights at will, and pulls meteorites home. But with this talent, everything works fine. Subai continued to watch. At the end of the fourth era, the sad news of the failure of the Superbido beast exploration is sad, and the giant insect series headed by the unicorn beast began to decline and withdraw from the stage of history. The beholder, the Lord of the Four Seas, felt the sadness of the death of the rabbit and the fox in his heart. The Lord of the Four Seas, who has fallen into despair, has another bold plan in his mind. He wants to break the jar, and hold a mysterious sacrifice according to the whispers in his ears. It came again. Subai's eyelids twitched. Combined with the clues of the previous text, he was convinced that there was something in the universe that had already set his sights on the Tianiwan realm. And pay special attention to the Lord of the Four Seas. Lord of the Four Seas, even if this super tentacle monster does not hold sacrifices, he will take corresponding actions. If there is no guess, it should be the outer god camp of the enemy of mankind, but I don't know which big guy it is. Subai knew very little about starry sky knowledge, and the teachers were cautious in their words and deeds. Fortunately, this is in simulation, if real. Really carry this talent? Subai felt that he might have to die before he started his career. Tianiwanji is going to make a wedding dress for others. What surprised him was that there was another point of fortune here. Disagreement of fate, your devout believer, Lord of the Four Seas, broke the jar and planned to seek help from an unknown existence. It is very uneasy, and I don't know if it will anger you, so I ask your opinion in my heart. Did you intervene? 1. Since you want to be the leading party, then I will fulfill you. Let it go. 2. This is my site, and no one can interfere. But I can issue a divine revelation and tell them the coordinates of the meteorite number 1, so that they can capture the meteorite at all costs and advance the land by 100 kilometers. Is this still a choice? Of course decisive too. That meteorite is not something to deal with now. After he made up his mind, the text immediately refreshed. A bolt of lightning strikes the altar, destroying the sacrifice. The Lord of the Four Seas shivered, kneeling and begging your forgiveness. You have appeared and warned them that the dangers of the universe, alien races and foreign gods are terrible. And told the coordinates of Kaobidio's life exploration. You gave the intestines of the universe to all creatures at the same time, and sent down the highest oracle, at all costs, the sooner the better, to drag back that meteorite, so that the Tianiwan realm will be promoted to 100 kilometers. You are keenly aware that even if the sacrifice has not been successful, as time goes by, the frequency of madness and distortion of the despairing Kyoto people, evil eyes and even unicorn beasts is increasing. There is a deep aftermath of eyes cast towards Tianiwanji, and there is not much time left for you. F***K, I knew it. Subai exclaimed in his heart that something was wrong. The beasts gained knowledge from their bizarre ravings, and are now spitting it back. Now see who is faster. He somewhat underestimated the importance of hope. After the oracle was issued, it was known that the Kaopido beast did not die in vain. After you have a clear goal, unimaginable potential erupts all over the world, all in order to move forward into space, dragging meteorites. The new talent has allowed many ordinary creatures to join in and become a member of space exploration. Early part of the fifth era, the three reborn extraordinary clans unite and use the intestines of the universe to move towards meteorite number 1. The Lord of the Four Seas went out of the universe in half, and it is extremely adaptable. He saw the number 1 meteorite and the super beast lying on it. And with the help of the evil eyes, he used his tentacles to bring back the body of the super beast. The three extraordinary clans held a grand funeral for the super beast. But they have no time to grieve. Continue to drag the meteorite's grand plan. Tianiwanji returns to light, squeezes out the last aura from the source, and supplies them. The world has temporarily recovered to 95 kilometers, and the mental state of the three ethnic groups has taken on a new look. Chapter 19 Earth-shaking, Evolving World, Hidden Plot, Seeking Flowers Evaluation Ticket, Previous Chapter Next Chapter Advertisement, Middle of the Fifth Era, the Beholder climbed on the Lord of the Four Seas, and the two leaders joined forces and slowly dragged meteorite number 1. After a month of hard work, the meteorite number 1 was pulled into the gravitational range of the Tianiwan realm. The pressure of the two leaders was greatly reduced, and success was imminent. The Lord of the Four Seas and the Beholder have recently found that the babbling in their ears has become more and more frequent, disturbing their spirits, and the salvage work has been seriously affected. But they did not forget the oracle and still insisted on pulling the meteorite. One day in outer space, the Lord of the Four Seas accidentally discovered that there was a bright spot flying quickly towards the Tianiwan realm. The distance is too far, it can't see clearly, but instinctively feels fear. As he looked at the flashing spot, the voice in the Lord of the Four Seas became louder and more uncomfortable. In a series of text, a line of striking golden text suddenly jumped out. Success. Meteorite number 1 was successfully captured by Tianiwan realm. Like a divine object from the sky, the meteorite crashed straight into the ocean, and the origin of the world is trembling and excited. How long? Born to the extreme, I was hungry for a long time, and finally had my first meal. The world seems to be moved to tears, and in the next spiritual reign, it will feed back the biosphere. Tianiwanji blesses the three extraordinary clans and rewards the three leaders. Grants the authority of the ocean to the Lord of the Four Seas. The authority of the swamp of the Evil Eye family and the increase of the spiritual realm. In order to reward the great contribution of the super beasts, Tia Niwanji bestows the Unicorn Clan, the authority of the sky, the increase of wind, strength, and battlefields. Tia Niwanji is evolving, the world is happy. Success. This simulation is the most time-consuming for Subai. It was already past 11 o'clock in the evening, and he was still in high spirits and was extraordinarily energetic. Advertisement, it's all worth it. Ha, if in a few days, the class leader and Mr. Lee see him. My world has grown from 1 kilometer to 100 kilometers, what will their expressions look like? He even laughed. This time, it was an extraordinary achievement. It took a full 5 epochs to snatch food from space. It is fundamentally different from the internal friction in the world. Obtaining resources from the outside world is the kingly way. Just make the big cake and let the world itself evolve. Meteorites contain a variety of rare elements that the world does not have, as well as the precious source power. For the world, this is the nectar of a long drought. It doesn't care about the fights of its children, and it doesn't mind if it dies 10,000 times. But very concerned about the resources obtained from the outside world. Just when everything is going in the right direction, another striking black text appeared before him. You observed a strange meteorite, heading straight towards the Tianiwan realm. Its diameter is more than 50 meters, you feel a little familiar. Worry, come early, it's better to come by coincidence. Subai suddenly became nervous, but don't take the last step and fail. For this meteorite, how much effort did he and his subordinates pay? While Subai waited nervously. Advertisement, a line of long-lost golden characters finally appeared. Late of the 5th era, with your assistance, don't hesitate to consume the recently accumulated faith points. Tia Niwanji consumes Meteorite 1 ahead of schedule. The land area has increased from 99 kilometers to over 100 kilometers, and the entire world has evolved. The earth is turned upside down, the sea is roaring, the land has grown to 102 kilometers, and the ocean area has expanded to 410 kilometers. Ding dong! Your simulation has achieved milestone achievements and reached the save point. Your land area is solidified to 100 kilometers. Reward for catching a meteorite for the first time, breaking through to 100 kilometers, creation value plus 5,000. Seeing this figure, Subai burst out laughing. This simulation, earning crazy. He could not wait to shout, who else? And extraterrestrial meteorites. Pleasure gave birth to sadness, and a black text appeared in front of his eyes. Aware of the evolution of the Tianiwan realm and the doubling and strengthening of the world barrier, the meteorite with a diameter of 50 meters accelerated and hit it. The crisis of extinction is coming again. But it's already a step too late, the archive is successful. Subai's smile stopped abruptly. Meteorite smashed the world barrier and hit the ocean, setting off a huge wave, and the kutu fish, algae, and fish died in pieces. Dust covered the atmosphere, most of the Evil Eye and Unicorn Beast were killed and injured, and the Beholder was seriously injured. Subsequent shock waves killed 99% of the creatures, the land was fragmented, and the origin of the world declined. The 3 extraordinary clans were wiped out in sequence, and the Beholder was seriously injured and died. Your temple was razed to the ground and your statue collapsed. Advertisement: the only surviving Lord of the 4 Seas was seriously injured. The huge tentacles were shattered inch by inch, and he frantically searched for the culprit in the ocean. A tentacle swept towards the meteorite, trying to smash it to vent his anger. Meteorite opened his eyes, his big turbid eyes swept around, opened his big mouth, and swallowed the Lord of the Four Seas in one bite. The Lord of the Four Seas has no resistance and was chewed twice and died. Tianhuan realm is destroyed. This simulation ends. Su Bai let out a long sigh of relief, opened his eyes, and checked the time. Just before 0. The fifth wave of simulation took 2 hours and earned more than 8,400 creation points. More importantly, the area is solidified and the harvest is consolidated. Investigated a lot of valuable information. He muttered to himself. Soon, Su Bai's brows furrowed tightly, but what does the last sentence mean? Meteorites are not meteorites. Hide the plot, the truth behind it is deeper than you think. Is that a living superlife? Su Bai's incomprehensible consciousness sank into the starry sky again. Suddenly, his eyes flashed. Seeing the earth-shaking Tianhuan world again, I can't wait to rub my eyes. Incredible, everything in front of you. The shotgun has been replaced by a cannon. Chapter 20 The real world is solidified, simulation evaluation, sea level. Ask for a flower evaluation ticket. Previous chapter. Next chapter advertisement. I saw that the originally small and pitiful Tianhuan realm had grown into a big realm of 100 kilometers. The seawater surrounds the regular Earth, and a semicircular arc-shaped barrier, like a pot lid, covers the world and resists radiation and cold winds. Seeing this area, who wouldn't agree? What's even better is that there are schools of fish wandering in the sea, and the dark tentacles of a behemoth are looming in the deep sea. There seems to be a sprout in the depths of the earth. Next, Su Bai heard a series of ding-dong beeps. This time the harvest is great. He could clearly feel the joyful consciousness from the origin of the world, and there was a reborn change. Vaguely, the origin of Tianhuanji seemed to be full. Could it be that after curing the area, it is equivalent to eating the number 1 small meteorite? Otherwise there is no reason for it to become so big. He guessed in his heart. If you have a chance, go to the real coordinates to see if there is that small meteorite. Ding dong. This time, a total of 8,400 creation points have been harvested, and the total has reached 11,000 creation points. Unblocking new function, the real world. You can keep the extracted and retained subordinates in the real world and make them exist forever. Ding dong. There are milestone achievements in this simulation, and the scoring system is successfully unlocked. The overall score, C and level. You can choose one of the following rewards. 1,500 creation value, 2. Card spree, 3 cards can be opened, and a B-level card is guaranteed at the bottom. 3. Continental Shelf Oscillator, it is convenient for you to end the simulation at any time, and after it is enabled, it will cause a great earthquake. And scoring rewards. Su Bai glanced at the 3 options, full of surprise. Could it be that it was too bad before, so it was not activated? Advertisement. However, this time the harvest is so big, it is too difficult to get a sea level evaluation. As for reward options, the current creation value is enough. For option 3, Su Bai has black lines all over his head, it's not necessary. Choose 2. After he clicked, a big blue gift box appeared out of thin air in his mind. He didn't rush to open it. Another line of reminder text came to mind. Please choose to temporarily solidify a talent. Permanent fixation, self-comprehension does not count. Su Bai thought about it carefully. The hidden plot brought by the call of Xhul, who is not something that can be dealt with at present. Relatively speaking, on the contrary, the prehistoric behemoth is more useful. After all, big is strong. Temporary solidification of prehistoric behemoths. After the talent is solidified, another option jumps out. Please solidify one item from the following options. If you want to permanently solidify, you need to consume more creation value. 1 Superbido Beast, an extraordinary creature that has evolved to the intermediate level of bronze, extreme power, born for combat. When it starts to madness, it can kill high-level bronze creatures. It can breed races. Unicorn Fairy Beast, need consumes 500 creation points. 2. Beholder. Bronze intermediate, spiritual mutants, not low in wisdom, there is a budding civilization, and can breed a race, Evil Eye. It needs to consume 500 creation points. 3 dozens of magical eye drops, the treasure of the Evil Eye family. Take care of your eyes, start with Drips ~~, your 10-meter statue, palace ruins, ha. Why is there no Lord of the Four Seas? After looking at the options, Subai asked suspiciously. Advertisement, could it be swallowed? God Simulator responded in time. The King of Tentacles has been fixed and will not reappear, and it currently lives in the real world. Only then did Subai turn around and look around the Tianiwan realm, which had changed 100 times. For a short time, the earth has grown into a lot of green shoots, and it seems to be full of vitality. Emerging in the ocean one after another, animals such as the Emergo SPP, clover and other animals that were previously simulated. The most eye-catching, of course, is the 70-meter-long Lord of the Four Seas. It is wandering in the familiar and unfamiliar deep sea with a dazed expression. This is the sea. I didn't die just now. Is it a dream before? The Lord of the Four Seas swayed his tentacles. It was incomprehensible. It always feels like a lifetime, and the 2-ton little head can't figure out the reason. I can only think that it may be that the great God resurrected himself and reversed time. There was a commotion around it. The Kyotos with steel forks in their hands wandered around, dancing around the leader's hands. Even the family members are resurrected. What about the other 2 old rivals? The Lord of the Four Seas raises hope. Can't help but say, praise God. Praise God. Seeing this, the Ku Dao people also shouted. This time the simulator seems to unlock a lot of functions, and Subai's creation value is enough. He asked boldly, can you extract both at the same time? Both are potential molecules. The real world has been solidified, and past simulations have been recorded. You can extract and solidify items at any time through creation value and belief in divine power. However, creatures can only manifest once, and 2 creatures cannot appear in the same time and space. Since there is a choice, Subai is naturally, I want it all. As Subai made a choice, the icons of Beholder and Ultrapido in the extraction column quickly disappeared. At the same time, there were familiar lights and shadows on the land of Tianiwanji, which quickly materialized from the virtual. It's like coming out of the second dimension, full of flesh and blood. This is the mother world. Didn't I die in the universe? The Keopido beast flapped its wings and flew left and right, full of fog. Beside it, a group of unicorn beasts followed. All buzzing, their intelligence is equivalent to that of a 5 or 6-year-old child. Not knowing what happened, I followed the leader ignorantly. With the exploration, especially the old rival Beholder, they only vaguely understood that such a miracle, only one existence can reverse time. Praise God. Subai, who was inquiring about new features, unexpectedly heard a reminder, ding dong, faith value plus 10. There are a lot of things in the extraction column. Most of the ordinary items are of little value. That is to say, eyedrops are extraordinary items. Subai thought about it and turned off the emulator. Throw yourself in and fly into the Tianyiwan realm.